Now we're rolling.
Boom.
Gotta hit record.
Disregard anything we just said.
Yeah. This is the official episode 1 of the Secret Stash podcast.
Secret Stash podcast. It just feels good to say.
Here we are.
If you're at home, why don't you just say Secret Stash podcast to yourself?
It's got a good ring to it.
Yeah.
So we are at Orlando Band Camp. What does that even mean?
Well, we've got a really good guest, our first guest on our first episode, to talk about Orlando Band Camp.
I've talked about it many times before on many other podcasts, but never this one. So without further ado, this is Mike Lowe from Orlando Band Camp.
What's up, Stashers?
Yeah.
Is that what I call them, or is it Secret Stashers? You guys got a name for that stuff yet?
I don't know.
Really.
This is episode 1.
I think
so
you guys are the Stashers then.
There we go.
Stashers, I like it.
Yeah.
It's done.
So
That's easy.
you
All right,
have,
we're done here.
Yeah. You have many stories, and I want to get into some of the best ones that I've heard. But let's just start. How the hell did we all get here? How did you get here?
Well,
What is here?
yeah. So Bandcamp is this big collective of people, musicians, weirdos, outcast. Yeah. Just a bunch of degenerates. And it started off as an Airbnb, and that kind of just went south because I have horrible neighbors that like to narc on me for having goats and starting fires and stuff, which you've probably seen in some of the Cashed Out videos, because that's the videos I'm
I miss
referring
those
to.
goats
Right.
so much.
They
I really
literally
love
sent those.
things.
Yeah, they sent those videos to the code enforcement officer. So like,
So they're fans. That's
yeah,
what you're
they're
saying.
definitely fans.
Nice.
Dude,
That-
that's
that was-
probably typed up as evidence. And it's like
it is.
cashed out good again by goat evidence.
I have that video actually, no lie.
Dude, that makes me so happy.
A courthouse video. Yeah, when I was in court, they were referring to the music videos with the mattresses on fire. They sent the EPA here, Environmental Protection Agency. Someone on their behalf came here and was like, "Oh, we've gotten some evidence that you're having illegal burns here." And I'm like, "Oh, well, we've had the fire department here a bunch, and they don't seem to care." And he's like, "Well, the fire department are a different jurisdiction. We're more about protecting the environment. And from our understanding, you were burning some mattresses." And I'm like, "I know exactly what they're talking about," because I think that was like the only time I had burned a mattress here too.
Unfortunately, we put it on video.
And they
Sorry.
monitor everything. They know about Orlando Band Camp. That's why you may not see a Facebook page anymore. They're still on an Instagram, but I don't really do anything on it. They've kind of just shut all that out and left me to my devices, having long-term roommates.
Yo,
instead
Mike,
of,
talk more into the mic.
Oh, okay.
Make sure
I'm
that you
usually
can hear
just so
yourself
loud.
over there.
I figure I don't need to be near the mic. I'm usually just the loudest person in the room.
No, that's
It
good
is
volume.
a mic.
I am deaf too. So, but yeah, that's where we're at now. I met Greg, which is kind of funny. I'd started the idea about wanting to. This is before Airbnb got disbanded. I was talking about wanting to focus more on.
Airbnb's disbanded.
Yeah. Well, my Airbnb was
Oh.
disbanded.
Yeah.
Airbnbs are still allowed, but just not me. Not when you single out people and you say what you're doing is bad, but everybody else is fine.
I thought you were great at it, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I loved all the bunk beds in there.
Hey.
I'm like, this makes sense to me.
1,500 reviews, 4.8
Damn.
stars on average.
4.8 stars.
out of 1,500 reviews.
Damn.
Yeah.
But Airbnb doesn't want it.
They want it. Just the neighbors that have nothing to do with it. They don't want it.
Do you
Which
ever
is-
cook breakfast when people stayed here?
Oh yeah, I actually would take duck eggs, fresh ducks, like fresh duck eggs, and cook them. Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah,
That's wild, dude.
yeah. You go out
Nice.
there. I got some ducks here right now. I could go grab one if you want. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, let's eat some duck eggs real quick. Let's take a break and we'll eat some duck eggs.
I love that so much.
They're huge. I heard them laughing at my jokes this morning. I was like talking to myself in the kitchen. They're just like,
They are hilarious and they're huge.
How many
now.
of them? How many of them?
I have 3 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are the names?
No names yet. They're still just ducky ducks.
Ducky ducks.
That's what I yell at them. Ducky ducks.
so you were talking about how we met.
Oh yeah. So I was wanting to kind of segue out of Airbnb and do more stuff revolved around music. So I had this idea. I wanted to start another underground music venue because I used to run an underground music venue called 16 Acres, like almost 20 years ago, probably about 15 years ago. So I kind of wanted to do that here since I already had all the property and it was just a good spot to me to do it. So I was talking to Moore, who, what would you call him? Your manager?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's our manager, man.
Yeah. So I was talking to Moore, and he goes, "Oh, I got a guy I think would be perfect for this property. He's in a band. He's touring. He's a really good hustler. You got to meet him." And then when he brings him over here, Greg pulls up, and the first thing he says is, "Hey, I used to live in an ambulance because I have an ambulance on my property."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, do you have one of those vacuum things in the back? Because we turned that into a gravity bong or something, right?"
We did. The meta bong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Side note, I lived in an ambulance, and I turned the little suction thing into an automatic bong. And it was the coolest thing I've ever
It's
done.
genius. Like I had never thought of that. I'm not
It's
that
smart.
big of a pothead. I mean, I am, but I'm not. But I would have never looked at that and been like, that could be a bong.
The funny thing
It's
was is the
crazy.
lid had a hole in it for something, but the hole was perfect, the perfect size for one of those little metal crack pipe bowls to like
Yeah.
to screw on in there.
Little
And
socket.
it threaded in just perfect.
Yeah, that's where they used to pump blood in, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
And then he put his lips on it.
Dude, yeah.
Right.
Dude, you probably need a test.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm still kicking. That was like fucking ages ago.
Yeah.
You're still here.
But you still have the ambulance. I
Still
feel
do.
like we need a metabong round 2. How many times am I going to have this opportunity?
That is true.
I-
It's not being used anyway. I mean, I might as well be like, I have an
So
ambulance / bong.
So
I'll at least be using
my
it for
goodness.
something. Shit.
I think we're on to something.
Good idea.
So that'll be podcast 2. We'll show you the update on that.
Yeah, hell
There you
yeah.
go. I'm
Nice.
doing it. I mean, it's just sitting in there. Like, why the fuck not?
I know.
Were the hits harsh when you did it?
No. It fills up automatically, and then you're like sucking through this tiny tube, like the size of it's like the diameter of a pencil or something. It's like, it's real. It was nasty tube. I don't recommend that part, but maybe we'll just go to Home Depot or
Yeah,
something.
I was gonna
just
say we could get
working
new
with what
tubing.
I had at the time.
I'm not going to use used ambulance parts for my mouth.
In my defense, I think it was just like old tubing that just, when like clear stuff turns yellow? Like,
Yeah, that's when it's getting good.
yeah.
Oh, that might have been where the
Yeah.
bag
That's when it's ripe, dude. That means it's ripe.
You want to put your mouth on everything that's yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rubber gets better in age. Everyone knows that.
Listen,
It's aged like a fine rubber.
what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Right.
Yeah, there you go. Yo, Mike, can you talk more about 16 acres?
Okay, sure. That's actually how I met Moore too, which is funny. Segue back to Moore. So when I was like 23, I had a trailer, like a really gross trailer. I mean, this thing had the last 3 months I was there, the sewage got messed up because these people would come to my parties and like literally just flush whole rolls of toilet paper. And I'd have to come out, and thank God it was a trailer and it was lifted, like a mobile home, so you could get underneath and fix whatever you could. But one day the landlord was just like, "Yeah, I'm going to sell this property. It's already in the mix. You can have it. You can remove it if you want. You can trash it, set on fire. I don't care." And I was like, cool. Well, we ended up not having sewage because the guy wasn't going to repair it anymore. And so we literally had like a diarrhea lake underneath. Like you'd be out there playing pool and you could hear someone flush the toilet. Dude, it was crazy. I mean, it was like horrible towards the end. But in the beginning, it was pretty cool. It was on 16 acres of property. It had a barn. It had 2 other houses that were like run down. It was just like this wild place. You could play paintball and like shoot shotguns into trailers and like grow weed without anyone knowing. Like,
Yeah, it sounds like a cool place.
yeah, it was a very cool place. And so I had met this band called Whole Wheat Bread.
Whole wheat bread.
Whole Wheat
Shout
Bread.
out to whole wheat bread.
Shout out to Whole Wheat Bread. But yeah, I met them at a show, and they needed weed, so they came back to the trailer. And after getting high with them for the whole night, I was like, man, you guys should play a show here. I think it'd be cool. We got enough property. We're not going to really bother
It fits.
anybody.
They're all punk. That's like a
Oh,
punk
yeah.
thing to do.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
so
yeah, the
punk.
trailer park.
Like, come on, that's made to be.
Yeah. And so we did our first show there in June of 2005, and it was a band open called Endorphin. Another shout out, local band. They're just coming back too. They're pretty cool, metal band. And then One Drop. You guys probably know One Drop.
Yeah.
You had One Drop there?
One Drop was the first band to play at my house.
Whoa.
Hell yeah. I didn't know.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I'm telling you.
They're touring again too. I think they started touring again, man.
I know it's the
Yeah.
resurgence, man, of all the old people.
Dude, that's so awesome.
They're all coming back. And then whole wheat bread. And so through the first party there, Moore kind of like was setting up a lot of that too, trying to figure out, what are we going to pay these guys? How are we going to collect money? The logistics of everything. And we pulled off an amazing show. And from that point forward, it was like, we're going to do this all the time because I can pay my rent, I can make money, and I can actually like pay bands like better than they're getting paid.
Living the dream.
Yeah, like
that's what that is.
All the bands were like, whoa, you're paying me like 3 times what we make on the road. And
Fuck yeah.
And I'd just be surprised because I didn't know the industry, and I just was like, I thought $600 was like shitty. And they're like, bro, we just made 200 at the fucking club yesterday. And we had to drive an hour and a half there and back. Like, so everybody was winning. It was cool. We had these amazing concerts. And again, just like Orlando Band Camp, we had some neighbors that weren't really close, but they were just within earshot. So we had this big field, and in between that, just wide open spaces. And then there was an apartment complex. So it kind of amplified and went out that way. We became all the police there like knew us, just like here,
Yeah.
Some things never change.
Yeah, they don't change. They come in there, and I've always been respectful with them, and we never really had any issues with police. So they'd come in and just say, hey, we're here for the noise. Just shut the noise down, and you'll be good. And then we would just do we'd cut the PA, and we'd just have the bands play. The drummer play a little softer or whatever. It would still piss them off. They'd come back a second round and just be like, all right, you're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a wild spot. We did like 50 shows there, and then
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
and then it was 9 months of just every single weekend, Friday and Saturday, and sometimes Sundays. We'd have like 3 or 4 bands, like nonstop. It was
Hell yeah.
When it rained, we brought it inside, and that's how I kind of meant like the trailer towards the end was just like a wreck because. Like we're literally punching holes in walls for metal shows. There's like
awesome.
metal bands like trying to be all cool with their emo moves and swing their guitar and hit my fan that's like right in front of him.
Oh,
so,
God.
Holes in all the walls.
And you just lived there through it?
Yeah, lived, sure.
Was there security? Did you have security?
No, well, that was the part too that made it kind of go down south. So there wasn't any security, and there was a lot of fights. And those fights ended up, being on World's Most Amazing Videos and Most Shocking, and because I started selling all my
You've had
footage.
some famous fights there.
Yeah, Stacy Keach narrated my fights, man. Stacy Keach.
Who's that?
The guy with the hair lip in American History X, the bad guy Nazi.
Oh my goodness.
That guy.
I watched that movie like a week ago.
He narrated my fights in
No
a crowd
shit.
of macho, bloodlusting beer hounds. When the kegs get low, temperatures get
This
high.
reminds me of when I watched bum fights as like a middle schooler.
Oh, it was a bum fight community. Trust me.
You just
This was
reminded
right. This was like 3 years after Jackass was like
you might
really
have been
big and
involved in my
stuff.
life earlier than I thought, man.
Yeah. So we were. It wasn't just the 16 acres crap. Like we were doing stunts. I was getting naked and streaking across Highway 50 and Dean.
That's
Hey,
awesome. Dude, on
filling
50 and
bags,
Dean.
filling bags with poop, and then leaving it at a Walmart to see who would pick it up. Stuff like that. All of which, I don't know if we will add video to this, but I have video of almost every story I tell you. Because I'm doing video as a background. I filmed everything.
I guess we add video in now.
So you can just
We're
throw
really
in a-
Splice
setting
it in.
the bar high. For
Yeah.
this
Just come right in with Lawless Ladies 4.
You reminded me of two different things. Didn't you have like another bum like series?
No, I was gonna do a series here, like Bum Watch, here on OBT, and that's just all we do is like literally I drag a keg out to the front yard, or front gate, and we would just put up like lawn chairs and just roast people, watch people.
OBT is crazy.
Like, yeah. If you don't know about OBT, it's
people
basically
are just dancing everywhere, and you're like, why is everyone dancing?
The hottest time is about 5 a.m., 4 or 5 a.m.
That's when it comes
shit
alive out
really
of
gets
OBT.
popping.
Yeah.
it's a circus it's just the people there. I can't even have words to describe these people. They are circus freak like people.
They are.
Yeah. And they live it. They live it and they embrace who they are.
Yeah, they lean
And
into it. I've got a lot of respect for them, honestly.
There's a bum that was here. This my Airbnb guest twice brought a prostitute here, and I caught her. Guess what now?
No,
she
no.
is missing a leg. That's not.
Wow.
That's not. She's out there right now kicking around with her wheelchair, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's missing a leg. And I end up finding out through the
Dude.
grapevine at the gas station that I guess she had diabetes or something. So I'm like, all right. Like, these people are crazy.
These characters are insane, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, just so everybody knows, there's like we're on 10 acres here, so it got a little while until you get to OBT. But maybe like if you're in a car, it's about 30 seconds away, and I'd say probably less, maybe 12.
Yeah.
But there's a gate. We're all divided by a gate, which actually is surprising that's all it takes to keep them out.
Hey, it's a good gate.
It's like
Yeah,
this place is
it
really
is.
it's hidden in plain sight, honestly.
But we don't really come across as the nicest people, I guess, when we're coming out of the car and we're honking at people that are like sleeping in our driveway.
Driving out of here sucks.
Like I'm no lie, you'll
yeah.
wake people up in the driveway. Like the gate will open, you'll be like, I can't drive because you're sleeping. Like get up. Like you wake them up, you're like, are you okay? Do you need help? Like I've had to call the ambulance on these people before.
One guy was trying to take a shit back there. Remember the one time I was like cleaning out there?
The one time, yes, I remember the one time that you.
I'm just
cleaned.
making sure you remember it because
That
I
one
want it to
time,
go
yes.
down on the books. But yeah, somebody tried to. He was like, "Oh man, I really gotta." I'm like, "No, dude, you can't do that here at all. Go."
You catch them in the middle of peeing, pooping, having sex, everything, shooting up.
I saw one of them dismantling an iPhone. And like she was holding up like this, she was like crouched over like Smeagol, and she was holding up like the circuit board in there, was looking at it, and I'm like, man, OBT is great. I love this place.
I saw a guy at a bus stop shaving this girl's ear. Like it didn't have hair on it, but he was just like running a razor up on her ear, and she was just like, like just really enjoying it.
OBT.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's a great spot. I love it personally. I have no problem at all being surrounded by these kind of people.
Honestly,
They're my kinfolk.
The most authentic Mexican food is on OBT.
Yeah,
And
it's pretty good.
it is just like California tacos. It's amazing.
It's pretty
Like,
good.
honestly, the one right across,
Well,
I
think
love
they
that
they
place.
closed it.
The
what
one
about-
right across?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
yeah,
like
you
under
said
new
that.
ownership, and they closed it.
Oh no, because there's two right across.
Yeah, what's that? What about the other one? The other one's probably still-
That one got shut down by the health department. Pretty much everyone within like a couple hundred feet of here usually gets shut down within a year. They cycle.
Wow. Like those tacos were the best I've had in Orlando.
Yeah.
Like
There's also
that's
like a
so
bunch
OBT.
of strip
That's just
clubs
so typical.
around.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
it's like a taco place, maybe a Aldi grocery store, and then strip club.
Walmart strip club. Yeah.
Yeah. And then sprinkle in some
Auto
used car
zones.
dealerships
Yeah.
and
A
maybe
crystal every once in a while.
a really weird garage that sells used mattresses.
And Randall Knives, world famous Randall.
Yeah,
Knives.
Randall's Knives. How does he do it?
Man, that guy's awesome.
I don't know about Randall's knives.
Yeah, you gotta go down
Obvious-
the other way.
You
got-
wouldn't know that
towards
because
the
they're like
Starbucks.
signs. And you don't
World
look at
famous knives from like Vietnam and stuff. That's when it kind of went. Like it's one of the top 3 knife companies in the world. Where
Really?
it's a 4-year waiting list to get a
No
Randall
way.
knife. I promise you, it's a
That's
4-year waiting list.
crazy.
They have if you can go to his house and they have like a museum in his house showing you all the old knives they have, and like they're really
Wow.
crazy expensive. They
Damn.
what's his name? Randy Travis wrote a song about it. I think.
Sounds
Like,
stupid, but the guy seems really sharp.
Ah,
damn
Oh
you,
wow,
Greg.
that was
That was good.
wonderful,
dude.
It was a stretch.
dude. And look how much you've improved the conversation too.
I know.
Like, you just feel it.
I know. Now I just want to hit this bong that I haven't
Okay.
seen in front of me.
So the
Oh, that's true.
we'll do that.
Beautiful, beautiful
Um,
bee.
Shout out to Grinder Glass. It makes these beautiful pieces. The other thing that you reminded me of, Mike, was you used to like sell footage to the news.
I was a freelance journalist, freelance photojournalist. So I basically bought a really nice camera and a whole bunch of police scanners and made a
How many police scanners?
probably 7 or 8 maybe.
And you had them all set up in your car.
I had a dash camera. Oh yeah, it looked like police. I had lights. Like I didn't have like the red and blue ones, but I had like flashing white ones that I'd turn on when I was driving on the sidewalk or something crazy that I wasn't allowed to do.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because you got
yeah,
some
yeah.
lights in.
Yeah, fit
Oh,
in.
yeah, yeah.
Fit
Cool, I
in.
got these lights, bro. We're good.
Oh yeah, nobody cared. They'd see those lights and be like, "Oh, he's good." Even the cops would just be like, "What are you doing? You can't be doing this." And I'm like, "Yeah, but there's a helicopter taking off, and I need that footage to make money." And they're like, "Okay."
That you get a pass this
Yeah.
time.
So what exactly does that mean?
So basically, overnight news is kind of like slow in a sense in Orlando, to where not slow, but like the newscaster, news reporters, they're not out there overnight, you know, coming up with stories, and they rely on us to do that. Well, they used to. So, you know, we'd listen to the police scanners, we'd head out, we'd film them, talk to the public information officer, watch commander, victims, witnesses, whoever, just get a soundbite, get some footage, and then contact each station. So there's like 7 stations here in Orlando, and each would pay about $100 flat. So you can make, I could make like $3,000 in a night. I could make
That's
300.
crazy.
$3,000. So that's three.
I made $10,000 selling some Paris Hilton video. TMZ. Yeah, I've done a couple TMZ stuff. Yeah.
What was
good
she
money.
doing?
She basically used to have a
She used to have that club
Club
here.
Paris, yeah. And so
And
this,
there's a stained glass portrait of her in there. Is that correct?
I don't know. I've never been there.
That's what I was told.
Is that true?
Yeah, there's a stained
I've
glass
been in there
portrait of
actually
her
with
in
our
there.
old drummer.
So basically, the owner,
James.
this millionaire owner, had leased her out like Ferrari or whatever, and that was what she's supposed to show up in, and it would kind of like make the place look upscale. It's supposed to be this very upscale club, and she was just partying and getting fucked up and getting arrested and stuff. And so she was out on bond. She was supposed to be in some drug treatment, and they found this tow truck driver towed her car because the lease went up and he was taking it back from her. So they found it in this parking lot downtown, and we're towing it. So I got the tip that, you know, Paris Hilton's car's getting towed. And I get out there, and the tow truck driver's like, "You want to see what's in the glove box?"
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was cocaine. And so that was just like TMZ jumped on that.
Big surprises from everyone.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a cool gig. And then like everything that I enjoy in life, the city comes and shuts it down overnight on me by basically encrypting the police scanner. So, you know, you can't really go shoot news if you can't hear what's going on in the city.
Right.
You know, I'm not out there chasing ambulances. I'm actually like, you know,
You got
I'm not making money on
hard hitting.
fires and car crashes, you know.
Yeah.
So kind of shut that down. But during that time, that's when I started selling footage to like Nash Entertainment and the world's most amazing stuff. So that's when I was like, oh, let me go into my archives and start, you know, you guys interested in some fight videos? And they're like, of course we are. So I'd start, I got like 30 of them. You know, I got a video of a guy getting hit in the head with a baseball bat.
So you like, so you've had some things go viral, right? With all these different videos. Like you must have had something like spark.
Surprisingly not, because this was back in the day before things were
Before
like
viral
internet.
was
yeah.
a thing.
Like right now, I guarantee you I've got a soundbite that if somebody messed with and turned into a song, like it would just crush it. It's this guy who's shirtless, right?
Yeah.
It's this guy who's shirtless giving me an interview, and he's just crazy. The things he says, he's like, one of his lines is, I asked him a question he didn't know, and he's like, I ain't got no clue. And he's shirtless, you know, big hairy chest, and his roommate just got stabbed, and the guy and he got lifted in a helicopter. Like I'm like giving an interview, and I'm like, you worried about your boy? He's like, yeah, but you know, he's a fighter. You know, he's a tourist just like me, and you know, he was a UFC fighter. He don't need to throw no dirt in your eye. You know, he'll put it to you. You know, and he just had all these little one-liners. He's like, oh, my dog's got tags, but it's all right. I'll be all right. He just one thing after another, and he's shirtless the whole time and just talking about how he just watched his friend get stabbed, and I ain't seen that much blood since Vietnam, and like he's not even old enough to be in Vietnam.
This is whoa.
Yeah, I'll show it to, if you guys haven't seen it yet, you'll see it soon.
Yeah.
That's a character.
That's wild. So what's the other some of the craziest stuff you got on the news?
I've got
Just
I'm good.
myself.
I'm good.
I'll take that.
let's see. We've got video of like people mangled. Obviously, I've seen some crazy car crashes where, like dead people. Like I've watched people die on like looking in their eyes while they take their last breath, kind of shit. Like not
Jesus.
cool.
Yeah, it's
Like
gnarly. Dude.
make you cry. Like
It's dark.
I've like walked away from scenes before. Like the worst one I think that I've seen was just watching an old man whose house got burned down, and his wife had just died, and his freaking puppy was in the thing, and it was like, I was like, I gotta quit this job. This isn't healthy.
Yeah.
That's dark.
So you just see like wild stuff, and sometimes it's too heavy, and then sometimes it's like really cool where you're like, it's like one of those very few lighthearted ones where it's like, oh, you know, the fire department just saved 12 ducks from a sewer. You know,
Yeah.
like, and everybody's
All
clapping.
those
and
sewer
then,
ducks, man.
and then the one mother duck, this is true, mother duck gets all scared and flies into a wall, which I have on video. That should go viral. Feel good story turns bad real quick. Just duck splat right on the wall. Yeah, how dark do you guys want to go? I mean,
Dude, you established it. You did it.
Don't line me up with this. Just make a sharp turn,
Right.
and all of a sudden nobody
We
wants
can
to watch.
edit it, right?
Right? What about the happy?
I guess if we just like wait a little bit before we start and end each story. maybe.
Yeah.
Dude, you're doing great.
Don't dive into the puppy dying kind of stuff right
you're
away.
you're doing great. This is wonderful stuff. We're so happy to hear.
It's just wild. Yeah, I've seen a lot of wild stuff in those days.
So what's going on with the place these days? What kind of characters you got around here?
Have things slowed down in your life lately?
Phenomenally, yeah. Not as crazy, but more stressful stuff. I mean, it's still. I got to run this whole freaking property.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here, and without that Airbnb income,
Yeah.
yeah. So fun stuff here.
Yeah.
We got that same group of characters.
So is it okay? So is it the same group? Because I feel like every time I'm here, it's like, oh, here's 9 new people I've never
What's the
seen.
same
before.
core?
Okay, all right.
Of degenerates that.
It's like a sitcom where you have like the classic cast,
Yeah.
and then you have like revolving door of
Yeah,
extras.
they have like rotating friends.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
a lot of extras.
Yeah. A lot of
A lot of
extras.
season 1, season 2.
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
There was a girl out here maybe a month ago, and there must have been some party going on or whatever, and she's just out going, come to band camp, and we're like on lockdown, like you can't come anywhere, you can't go to anywhere. Like it was like right when the lockdown happened.
Oh, that crazy party. Yeah, the last party.
Yeah.
I don't remember much of that one. Lots of fun videos though.
Well,
Can't share
I
those.
found it funny that band camp is like a thing now that just come to band camp.
Oh yeah,
It's like a
I picked someone up in my Uber, and they were talking about you, Mike.
really?
Yeah, it was some girl. I don't think she likes you anymore. Sorry.
Oh, that's cool. Tell me what I did. I want to hear.
Just wanted to bring that up.
I think she did it, and she got caught, and you yelled at her, and she was like, "He didn't have to be mean."
Oh, I mean, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, sometimes when you do something mean, people are like not okay with it. hence why it's the mean thing.
Yeah. No, I mean to stupid people sometimes though. You have to be like when you're throwing a party and there's 400 people in your front yard and
Oh, dude, you probably have so much experience handling drunk, messed up people. Like,
oh my
you
gosh,
should be a security guard or a police officer. You probably can handle that easy.
I feel like I could. I feel like sometimes I am in that position. I'm trying to
Dude,
break
yeah,
people
if
up
it's
from
your
fighting
house.
and there's weapons being drawn and it's like, yeah,
You had to talk down some weapons.
no. Well, there was one time I was sleeping in my garage and there was a party happening unbeknownst to me. And yeah, somebody like ran in real quick and was like, I think he's got a gun. And I was like, what? Like walk outside. It's not. Nobody's got a gun. But
That's good.
yeah. But he thought he did and had to wake me up that way. So put me on edge.
So what have you been doing during the lockdown?
Nothing really. Work. I mean, I'm doing like some
you built
Instacart
a
stuff.
house for a duck.
Well, I
Those
mean,
ducks.
I am hoarding more animals now. I've added the 3 ducks and
It's a
a
small
rabbit
zoo.
now. I've got
You have a rabbit now. That's awesome.
it's not a rabid one, but a wild one that was found in some neighborhood. So my friend was like, hey, we found a rabbit. Anyone want it? I got tagged like by 3 people in that post right away. It was like, Mike Lowe will take it.
It's a good reputation. I like it.
Yeah, people
It's my
love
favorite things. I miss those goats too, man.
Oh, man.
I love those guys.
But you
You can
also
come see
have
'em.
you have prairie dogs.
Still have them. Yeah, I got 2 prairie dogs.
You like
Fatty and Nugget, little Nugget.
you're kind of like that guy, the Tiger King.
Yeah, there's
Do
a
you
lot
relate with him?
Yeah. Do you have the animal
yes,
gene?
I
You
do.
think?
I 100%. If I could have like a mini zoo here, it
Yeah.
would be all like the wild animals, the ones like you got to get that class 3 first before you can get a class 1. So
We
you're
had
like
a
getting all the
monkey.
skunks. And,
We had a monkey in this
Oh,
camper.
I had 2 monkeys.
Dude, when I was watching Tiger King, I'll be honest with you, I was watching with Jesse and I turned to her and I was like, it's fucking Mike. Like this is Mike's spot.
I'll
dude.
take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Joe
In the
is
best
a unique character.
best loving way possible.
Yeah. It's a shit show around here, and I can't imagine it was anything less.
Yeah, it's
in-
hard to
in
go
his
back.
Spot.
Once you've had like a house you throw parties at with bands playing and like, it's kind of hard to just
You've
move
had
away
a
from
lot
that.
of cool bands come through here too. You had, just in the time I've been here, there's what you've had Vonalia, Jesse Royal, Pacifier,
Iatera,
Iatera.
Stick Figure threw their New Year's Eve party here.
That's right.
Misfortune.
Ballyhoo.
Misfortune was here for a
Ballyhoo.
month recording with Andrew Wade over
There's
there.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
That's
from
awesome.
all genres too. It's not.
Young and
Just
Ace, if you
reggae.
guys, or Young Geen Ace, I don't even know how to pronounce it.
What was the
Big rapper. Big rapper.
the two crazy chicks, the indie?
Oh,
Girl band.
the Beavis and Butthead shirt. What were those girls called?
Tegan
Bird
and Sarah?
Cloud. Bird Cloud.
Oh.
Yeah,
Bird
I
Cloud's
remember
amazing.
that.
Yeah.
She was. They were both awesome. Wild chicks. I love them both.
Can you
They're-
talk about their show?
Yeah. So they.
I don't know about this. What is this shit?
Bird
Oh
Cloud?
boy, dude.
You would love it.
Bird Cloud?
Yeah, they're like a performance art, but they're really talented. They're like one plays. What is that instrument? Not the
Banjo?
ukulele. It's something like that. The mandolin or whatever. Yeah, I think she
Okay.
plays. She plays like everything. But
Uh-huh.
she's known for playing like mandolin. It's like a bluegrass kind of folky. They have songs that are like, oh gosh, if I can't think of their song names. I'm saving my pussy for Jesus.
Whoa.
Yeah, like they're comedians. They're amazing, but they
Oh, hell yeah.
they like are raunchy on stage. They pick fights almost. They like spit liquor in your face. Like they just
Bird
get
Cloud.
drunk on stage and riot. They're
they sound
hilarious.
like nice
they're
girls.
really no. That's what's funny is that's their persona. You know,
Yeah.
off stage they're two little girls who just want to go swimming and hang out. Like,
Yeah.
It's
play
rock
with the
and
prairie
roll.
dogs. You know, they're amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Check them out, Bird Cloud.
Bird Cloud.
Bird Cloud.
Yeah. So, how do these bands find you?
Well, I've been doing the whole band stuff for so long. I'm in the scene, and so word of mouth basically I think is a lot of it. When I started off doing it, it was more like I would reach out to bands, so I'd actually like have like almost like a script. I just kind of copy and paste whenever I saw bands that I really liked that were in town, or
That's smart. Makes sense.
well, and I just say, hey, I've got a big Airbnb, like 15 rooms. I always have space. They're not always rented, so if you need a place to crash, I'm like 10 minutes from the venue. We're pretty close to almost all the major venues here.
Yeah, you're
so-
close to downtown Disney too.
Yeah.
You're right off I-4. It makes sense.
So that's what I found really cool when we first met, was that you would go to a lot of the shows just to meet the bands and offer them this place that they didn't know existed. I thought that was rad,
It's my way of giving back.
because at being a band, I mean, that's how we save a ton of money
Yeah.
from sleeping at people's houses, and we meet some of our closest friends.
Yeah.
It's true.
And
You stay with someone.
most bands are pretty much out there struggling to begin with. So it's
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
once you
because of
understand the scene and you realize that it's just a bunch of broke people traveling around,
broke,
looking for a place
low-
to shower
no
and do laundry.
nutrition,
Yeah.
Jake
And you're
just
like,
needs somewhere to sleep.
that's what you offer them. Here's a shower and some laundry. Like,
Yeah.
And it can be as simple as just a floor sometimes, because we don't even have enough floor space in our
Oh, dude,
van.
just a floor is amazing. We can do so much. We're like, that's the thing. Bands are equipped to sleep anywhere. So if you just have a floor, it's great. It
Sleep in a
is.
fucking tree.
Yeah.
Sleep underwater, dude.
Sleep underwater.
Didn't we have somebody sleep on an ironing board?
Oh, Daniel Shippey. He
Yeah.
insisted on it.
God,
Yeah,
how
it's
small is this
true.
guy?
He's a little
he wasn't.
guy.
No, he wasn't that small compared to the ironing board.
Wait, was it up on the ground or like was it on the ground or like still?
It was on the ground.
He was on the
Oh,
He
ground.
used it like a sleeping bag.
Because I'm
pad.
picturing it like fully set up and he's on top of it sleeping.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
He was like, we were in a hotel, and he was like, he went with us on our first tour to take photos, and he's like this. I remember him to be like a little guy.
He's a
from
Southern
Georgia.
gentleman.
I remember him being like,
He is. He's like a Louisiana
4'9",
lawyer.
like a little guy,
No,
and he was just like,
he was
Black
an
Bear
average
Diner.
build.
he loved the Black Bear Diner.
I ate at the Black Bear Diner. Did I tell you about that?
Mm-mm.
It's overrated.
Oh, he loves
Sorry,
the Black Bear.
Shippy.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, I just kind of. We were like staying in a hotel room. He's like, well, you guys take the beds. I think I'm gonna take the ironing board. We were like, dude, you don't have to do that, man. There's plenty of room, dude. I kind of want to sleep on the ironing board. Like, all right.
That's Mr. Shippy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, Chippy, we miss you, man.
Yeah, love him.
I
dude.
hope he found a bed.
Yeah, I hope he
Sleep on.
found a bed between then and now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sounds like a good guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Great
He's a
dude.
sweet fella.
Great.
He is a sweet fella. That's the best way to put it.
I think
That's
anyone that
sweet.
speaks like that, though, you just have like this love for him. Like a Leslie, what's his name? Leslie.
Oh,
No, well, hey, he's like this. The voice of 2020, guys. It's Leslie. What?
follow
Remember
him,
the
and I
little
do.
tiny dude?
Oh man,
Leslie Jones, right? No, that's
no.
Leslie
chick from
Jones'
SNL.
Diary.
the man. We're gonna have to look it up now. Leslie Jordan. Leslie Jordan is his name.
Who's
Hmm.
Leslie Jordan?
The little tiny guy that's like was in American Horror, whatever.
Oh, I don't watch the American Horror
No,
Stories.
he's been in a whole lot of other stuff. He's
You've
like a little
seen
tiny
him.
gay
You've
guy
seen him
with
and
like gray
heard.
hair, and he talks like this.
Is he the guy that went trending?
Yes, he's the one trending right now.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
great. Yeah, he's funny. Okay.
He's doing a great job with the social media.
He is. He's awesome. I actually saw him. I didn't want to go and like say anything to him because it was like a starstruck moment. But I was in Juneau, Alaska, and I just saw him like walking around. And I was with my girlfriend. I looked at her and I was like, "Oh my God, that's Leslie Jordan!" And I couldn't think of a single.
You were walking around in Juneau, Alaska.
Yeah,
and
what
you
were you
ran
doing?
into
And I-
Leslie Jordan.
and I
What the fuck?
couldn't tell what he was from either. I was just like, I know him. He's famous, and I couldn't think of a single thing he was from. And I wasn't just about to walk up to him and be like, "Hey," like, I didn't even know how to Google him. It was like, who's that little dude? I've seen
Who's
him
the
somewhere.
guy?
I had a moment like that one time in Aspen,
Uh-huh.
and it was Judge Joe Brown.
You met Judge Joe Brown?
I didn't meet him. No, I was like
Oh
starstruck.
fuck!
Well, he was drunk,
Judged out.
and
Oh.
he was drunk and like lecturing some little kid.
And you were like Judge Joe Brown.
I'm like, I can't believe this. Like,
What, that he was drunk and lecturing a kid, or that you just saw him?
both.
That is pretty
It
cool.
was just so random. Like, of all people and all play, I was like on a vacation, and just there he was.
Man, you
in
could
the-
have you
in
could
the
have filmed
clubhouse.
that and sold that to TMZ.
Yeah.
Just a newscast.
There's opportunities everywhere, Greg.
You got to learn
Just
how to
open
side
your
hustle.
eyes.
Yeah. Well, some of us think like a cameraman who makes money off of footage, and I guess the rest of us don't. That's why. That's how you got here.
And then there's what you do.
Yeah. So I wish I would have filmed it though. He was saying some funny stuff. I just can't remember it at all. So story's over.
So now that some stuff is starting to open back up in Florida, Mike, what you been doing? Where you been going?
Oh, nice. I haven't gone anywhere in 3 months unless I was doing like Instacart or Postmates or whatever.
Mhm.
I was
Oh, you're a
doing all-
Postmates?
I was doing some essential work.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's
Well,
great money.
So I
Dude,
was
you had that scooter hustle for
Yeah,
a
so
minute, dude.
right before the COVID, I was like hustling those scooters. So Lime had just gotten into the city, Orlando had just gotten electric scooters, and so I got this big old van and tons of room, and I just thought to myself, this is a new market, just like Airbnb. I can get in early before it's saturated, and I can like hustle and make some money. And so at like the same day, Lime opened up Birds and this company called Wheels. So I was going around doing all that. And then when COVID hit, all those got like temporarily suspended. And so I had this really cool side hustle. I was making good money.
Mm-hmm.
And then that got shut down again. Government comes in, shuts me down.
What were you doing with the scooters though?
I would charge him. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, you'd pick them up
Okay.
off the street and then bring them back here.
Every
and charge
time I
them.
pull in, there'd be like new piles of scooters.
Like piles, like
and,
like
he,
40
and Mike would
deep.
just be popping in and out with this giant van.
Just
like you hear,
shirtless, looking like a maniac.
He'd pull out, he's like sweating his ass
Because I got no AC in the van either, so I'm just like
God,
in
dude.
Florida, even
Dude,
at
this
night.
looks like
off.
100
Didn't you have like a
pounds.
hernia too?
Oh,
You're like,
I've got a double hernia, which I shouldn't be lifting anything over like 10 pounds, and I'm over here with like lifting up like, I don't know, 1,100 bikes a week. Or
Oh
whatever.
my god.
yeah, he's like,
That's
yeah,
a
I just,
job.
I just
Holy
drive on the
shit.
wrong side of the road. I
Dude, that's
go in the
great.
ghetto. I don't give a fuck.
I've been making like $300 to work like 4 or 5 hours.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sounds like a job to me.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He was grinding. It was
Yeah.
impressive.
I like that you always come up with ways to make money and do stuff, Mike.
Well, I have to. I'm always like the one that's responsible for rent or bills or, so it's like I don't have a choice. I have to pay my bills. And so I
That's
just,
awesome.
I figure out side hustles and try to exploit them.
Aren't we all?
Right.
Well, you're damn good at it.
Just trying to make some money, man.
So, like, Greg's a big hustler and you're a big hustler. Do you guys look at each other and just be like, we can take on this whole world if we just merge our hustle powers?
Yeah.
We did for
That
You
band camp was going
band
good,
camp
man.
when
we
it
were
was
having,
strong.
Yeah,
You know,
we were having bookings,
good.
Glory days.
bands coming in here, writing sessions every week.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's still
Sarah Nation was here.
yeah. I
Right,
mean, we
you
had
wrote for everybody.
we had a bunch of bands here, and now it's we tour a lot now, or we did, and we will.
When we were allowed to, we were
Yes.
doing it often enough to be like, man, home, what is that?
Yeah. So I was always stoked when like a band would hit me up. Hey, we're in Orlando. Can we stay at band camp? Like Tropodelic came through, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Chop.
And it's just been a more of a hub for people to come get a good night's rest. As far as, but we want to have like shows, and I mean the place
It'll
is
happen.
huge.
It'll happen. It just I gotta do it slowly, and I jump into stuff too fast. You know, that's what it is. So it becomes like an overnight. Oh, there's 500 people in a band and stages, and I mean like the stick figure show. We wheeled in that beer truck that had like 5 taps on the side of it.
Dude, brought his beer truck.
Yeah, that's
Right in
so
the
funny
backyard.
to me.
Yeah, and I mean I've had weddings here too. So like they don't like anything I do. You can't win with these people. Like, can I? And honestly, I thought the most quiet you're going to get from me, you know, as a neighbor would be to let me do Airbnb because, you know,
Right.
I can't be loud and crazy when these people are trying to wake up and go to Disney at 6 a.m., you know?
Right, yeah.
You know, the place was quiet, shiny and new, clean, landscaped, you know, and take that away. And it's like, it's what you get now. We got like floating kegs and, you know, sunken ships.
I saw those today. I didn't know what the fuck.
Max sunk his boat. Yeah. From that rain, that torrential rain. I don't know how.
Oh, dude, that was crazy rain.
It sunk his boat completely to the bottom, and he
shit.
jumped in there and grabbed like 5 empty keg shells I have, and somehow floated it up. So now
Mind
there's
you,
That's
That's
genius.
awesome.
Holy shit.
that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I saw the same guy put in the motor in
Oh my!
the boat was in the water, and he did an engine swap.
He had to
That's crazy.
he had to take this engine, like I don't know what they call it, the thing that lifts it, the lift, I
It was
guess.
a
Yeah,
lift.
engine lift. There you go. He took this engine lift and ratchet chained it with like all these different ratchets and ties, so that it was hanging over. So the legs weren't even flat on the dock. It was like on one front leg, and the rest was just like dipped over with like a 1,200-pound engine hovering over his boat. It had
Jeez.
pull one out and put one in, and then he just sank it.
God,
He's just not having a
man.
good time, and he still hasn't been able to take it out since then. So
Oh my God.
poor guy.
Dang,
Jeez.
that's tough.
I love the lake. The lake's awesome.
Oh, the lake is
It's
great.
beautiful.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
3 boats that have sank.
Well, not including the bum. Are you including the bum I sank?
Yeah.
Oh man, we got to tell that story. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, we had a studio up in the before I had my camper. I had a studio up in the upstairs bedroom. There's a view of the lake,
Mm-hmm.
and I like wake up one morning and I just take a look out, and there's a guy on the lake, or a guy on the dock. Like I watched him like come up, get on our dock, take an oar, and get back in his little boat. And he had rowed up with like a 2x4.
Okay, so we paddled
Paddling
up to
with
the
a
dock.
2x4.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah. So
He's
I can
swapping out
see,
oars.
Yeah, I could see why he might find that tempting, but it wasn't his.
Yeah.
So, crap.
Fired.
You saw all of us put in the do not disturb, and you were like, mine will be fine.
Yeah.
Disturb me.
So I ran downstairs and I woke Mike up and I said, somebody's stealing an oar. And Mike runs out there, and I can't remember the exchange that you guys had.
Yeah, I basically saw him do, and I like right when I ran out there, I noticed him throwing my stuff back. I think he'd also taken a fishing pole too, like a child's fishing pole. But it looked like he was throwing everything back, and he was kind of just.
But I had woken Mike up
Yeah.
in a panic, so he was
I
a
was
little
fired
angry.
up. Yeah, I didn't know. And plus, this isn't the first time, so you know, I've had a lot of stuff stolen off the dock. I've had lights. I've had gas cans, you name it, oars, paddles, stuff like that, fishing poles, gear, bait, whatever we leave out there, life jackets, it'll get stolen. Like when these bums had a boat, they were like, you know, trading it off with each other. There's basically a hotel that's attached to our lake, and it's like the hotel that's on OBT.
I call it Crackhead Cove because
Yeah.
if at night if if you go out towards just a little bit off our dock and look that way, you can see a lot of lighters like rapidly.
Yeah.
It's like nobody's smoking
So they were
bubbles
like,
that.
they were sharing this boat because you always saw different people on it, and whenever you
Two
saw
by
it,
four.
yeah, the 2x4 and then their little John boat that they paddled, and so every time we saw them, we always just had we're just watching them like a hawk, making sure they weren't taken from other people's docks. But we know we were getting our stuff taken from, so I was already fired up when I saw them, and I was just like, you messed with the wrong motherfucker, and I jumped on my jet ski, and I went over to him, and I did about 4 or 5 rounds, and each time I just cut it last second and was just throwing water into his boat until I sank it, and like. The last two times he's like throwing his beer bottles at me, finally throwing the 2x4 at me. He almost hits me like multiple times. And I just sunk him. And then you just see him. It didn't look like he could swim either because he kind of sank with it. And then his flip-flops come floating up. And then he's like coming up all, I thought, man, I'm going to have to save this guy now. This is insane. And he finally makes it over to like where he can stand, which is my property. So he basically goes and climbs up on my seawall on my backyard now. And he's in my fucking backyard. And so I'm yelling to Greg, go get the gun, like just because I wanted to spook this guy off. I didn't know, how pissed he was at me for sinking him, number one. And I don't know if he's got a knife on his pocket. He could have a knife in his pocket, a little crackhead syringe or something. Like I wasn't playing. So he ends up jumping in the lake again and swimming to the other side. To which I start yelling at that neighbor, who I don't even know the guy, but I start making up a name. I'm like, yo, Sean, he's in your backyard. Get your gun. And then he swims back to Crackhead Cove, the hotel. And I'm on my jet ski and just watching him, and he's all pissed off, and he gets on a bike. And at this point, I'm on the phone with the cops, and I'm like giving a description of him, and he takes off. And cops end up coming up to some guy completely soaked, with a bike, and he ditches it and ends up getting it away in an apartment. But yeah,
so now they don't have a boat, huh?
They don't have a boat. It's sitting in my
But we have an oar and a boat.
Yeah, we got a 2x4 from that.
The boat is still there. It's just nobody's bothered to pull it out of the water.
That's that boat?
That's
it's
the boat,
just like sunk in the bottom. We saw that the other day, Joe.
Yeah,
Like,
it's right by the dock. Wow.
We actually had to recover that. So when I sank him, he was way deeper than that. And I had to swim like under there and tie stuff to it and pump air underneath it so we could lift it back up. And then we had I ended up jet skiing it a little bit. We ended up pulling it, like 6 people pulling it on the dock. So we had it at one point up and ready to go. And I wanted to make like a big sign that like spray paint like FU bums or whatever, or like my boat now or some stuff like that. I would just like
USS
show it,
cardboard.
Like I got it now. And we didn't see him on the lake for years. I just saw like maybe a couple months ago that they've got a boat again. So
all right, well, keep your eyes peeled, man.
I do. Trust me, we do.
It's still very peaceful. Like it's only that one. It happens to be the one corner of the lake that we're on. But if you go to the other side of the lake,
it's pretty peaceful here for the most part. I'd say every time I've been here,
we make most of the noise.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, but it's good. It's fun. It's all. I hope that one day we can have the. I thought you were real close. I went in the backyard. There was a stage one day. I was like, he did it.
Yes.
It was
like
for a
7
wedding.
bands play here. That was pretty fun.
Dude, yeah, we've talked about like doing a show here like
We're gonna
a lot of times.
the camp out, the Kash'd Out camp out, man.
Yeah,
Got
we
the
gotta do
RV,
that.
Kash'd
some
Out camp
tents,
out. That
some
makes
tents.
sense.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, it kind of is the perfect spot.
Oh, I do
it
like
really
that.
is.
Right? I got all the tents, man. That's why my Airbnb when I was doing that, I was
And they
renting
wouldn't even
tents
have to
out.
bring tents.
You're doing Airbnb. You were putting people in
Tents.
tents.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, dude. EDC weekend is like
Oh my gosh, EDC weekend would be wild. There'd be like 200 people here, all raving, and I'd have tents all over the property.
That's crazy. How much does somebody pay for a tent?
Back then, well, that's like peak season, peak stuff. They were paying like $80 a night,
For a tent?
but it's like a 4-person
they're
tent that's
not
got
going
like
to
a.
sleep.
It's a.
though.
It's
Oh
a,
yeah.
Well, not only that, you're getting a queen bed, like a legit mattress. You're getting
Okay,
a
I
queen
gotcha.
bed, electrical outlets, you know,
Yeah.
fairy lights on the inside, access
Living
to
good.
both the mansions, you know,
Yeah.
the Garden of Eden.
Yeah. Dude. Hell yeah, man. So what are your plans for this place, dude?
I want to get back to having bands here all the time. Maybe do some shows. We've had some bands play inside. I like that a lot. The more intimate space, having a band right there in front of the fireplace. The way it's set up too, the living room, if you can't see, it's like sunken in. So you have all these different steps and where people would stand and had a different perspective, and it wraps around the whole living room. So
it was a really cool vibe for an acoustic show.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, because it's like a lot of wood, and there's like these like big, what do you call those things that hold up a roof?
Beams.
Yeah,
exposed beams.
Walls.
Vaulted ceilings. with
Vaulted
exposed
ceilings.
beams.
Cedar lined, exposed. Yeah. So it's a big wood house too. It's 1947, so like everything's
It's
old and
it's
antique.
Dude, it's probably haunted. It's got to be haunted, right?
Oh,
Oh,
100%.
there's there's
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I know everything about the owners, like Beulah Rest and Horace Hellum. Yeah, I
You
know
still see
about
them walking around at night.
They're on like paintings that I still have hung up, so you'll see like the eyes moving and stuff. Lights get flickering when you talk about them, like weird stuff like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
spooky.
Oh, it's spooky. Yeah, I always like to mess with any girl that would like rent the room back here. I was like that. I was like, that's where she died. You know that, right? Be like, I knew it. I had a dream. I woke up paralyzed, like, and I saw a woman in the corner, like that looked just like that lady. And I'm like, yeah. We have so many stories like people like that
Damn.
too.
Here's some duck eggs.
Have you ever seen a ghost, Mike?
Not in here, no. I felt weird energies.
Tell me about that.
Oh, just like I said, like bringing up their name and then having like a light flicker or like, awkward stuff like that, bringing them up and just see like the TV turn off or something. Because that's what they're doing, when you die, you're just sitting there messing with everybody's electronics, like just trying to communicate, apparently.
Yeah.
Like if I heard my name, I'm just flipping lights. Like,
Hey, yeah, that's
correct.
me.
yeah, keep
Yes,
going.
yeah. Have you seen that movie Ghost?
Right? Yeah, who hasn't?
I imagine it's like that. These guys probably have not.
I've seen Ghost, Whoopi Goldberg, Demi Moore,
Okay.
and
you've seen-
is that Kurt Russell?
I haven't seen
Kurt
shit.
knew
Russell,
it.
no.
Is it Kurt Russell?
Patrick
Who is it?
Swayze.
Patrick Swayze. Swayster. Okay.
Yeah.
2 out of 3. Whatever. Can you
Have
name
we?
the song? Can you sing the Righteous Brothers song? Unchained Melody.
my life.
The song from Ghost?
That is
Yeah,
it.
the Ghost song.
That is
Nah.
Unchained, isn't it?
No, it's
Oh, wait, that's the Dirty Dancing one. I got to get Patrick Swayze one wrong.
No, I think about the movie every time it comes on, but
Yeah,
I
by
can't
the
think of the
Righteous
song
Brothers.
right now.
That's a hard song to
So my
sing.
love, my darling,
Oh,
I
yeah.
hunger for your
That
touch.
one.
Yeah, that
That's
one's
it.
hard.
That's
I think you could do it.
I could. I
Why don't
probably
you do it
won't.
right now, Greg?
Right? Call him
Sing.
out.
Maybe he's
Little
like,
acoustic.
right?
Yeah,
Something like
that's
that.
it.
Is that
That's-
the tone?
Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah.
Before your touch. Right?
That's it.
That was wonderful.
That's
That's
pretty
good.
good, dude.
Just throw some reverb on that part. We'll be.
Yeah. You should set up on OBT, dude, and put out a jar.
Right?
I
The
think.
Righteous Brothers.
He'll just
song.
steal it. I'll just take his jar.
Yeah, it's true. What happened, Greg? Took my jar.
They took the jar.
So if you weren't doing this, what do you think you would be doing?
We're getting deep. Oh, man. Something music related. I'd probably be like I don't know, tour manager or something, traveling with some bands, keeping their
Fair.
budgets tight.
I think Mike would be a great tour man.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
good TM.
Dan,
went with
you
more.
would be a good
So,
TM.
I went with more whole wheat bread too. We went an East Coast tour. I spent like 30 days with them, and
Oh yeah, Moore was on that tour, like
Yeah.
actually in the van.
I was their
Oh.
weed guy. I brought like a half pound of weed and rolled all their blunts. And
Tell us about touring with Moore.
And that was fun.
What's he like on tour?
Well, he was really fun. He just played. This was back in the day when like UFC on PlayStation had just come out, and so like just playing UFC all day in the van, smoking a whole lot of weed, being more,
Yeah.
Just mispronouncing things.
Oh my god, a great story of more. So we were in like
Moore's shaking in his boots right
Right.
now. I love it.
I love it, dude. These,
Oh,
are my, these
man.
are my favorite things about that guy. I
We were-
love Moore so
we were in
much.
Virginia. I think we were in Virginia, and more out of nowhere just was like, yeah, I used to live here at one point. We used to party on this like cliff, and we'd jump in the water. And he's like, I don't remember what it was called or what the town was or where it's at, or he like knew nothing about it. But he's like, but I think if we start driving that way, I'll pick it up. And so we just start aimlessly driving in the direction of these mountains, and then next thing you know, he's like, I think this might be it. And we pull off, and he's like, I don't know. We just start walking, and he's like, let's go off this trail that's not even a trail.
Uh-huh.
Let's get off of the trail and go somewhere else. And he's like, I think there's something over here. And sure as shit, we get there, and it's like this badass rock cliffs and like a bunch of empty beer cans everywhere. You can tell it's like the place where all the kids go and smoke weed.
Yeah.
There's like roaches and
Wow.
shit. Oh, it was cool. And
He found it.
he found it, and he's like, "This is it." And we didn't know how deep the water was either. And he's just like, "This is where we jumped." And I'm like, "You're sure?" Because you can't see you can't see anything. And like, it's a big, that's a bit like 40-foot jump.
Right.
I gotta trust you in this. I'll be the dummy. You know, I'm the one in the fucking group that's
You
like,
did it?
I did it first, and I obviously I'm good. And then more with it. This is when he had his dreads that were like 10 feet
Oh,
tall.
I always
Yeah.
forget about more
So,
having dreads.
When he's, I got all these pictures of him when he's like coming up. It looks like he's got like seaweed attached to him because he's got all his hairs floating behind him like kelp. He just looks ridiculous. And then he's got to dry those for like 10 hours, you know, straight with his hair hanging out the window while we're driving, slapping the side of the van.
Oh my god.
He was a mermaid.
Yeah.
Mermaid. Oh.
Good old Moore.
Yeah, dude, he's the best, dude. We talked to him about coming on the podcast. He's like, I could not do something like that. But we're gonna have Brett, his
Oh,
other
Brett.
guy that works.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Vidma.
Yeah. He
We're
doesn't
gonna
know
have
that
to-
yet.
We're gonna have to like. He's gonna need to lose a bet.
We gotta
come on,
have
man.
more on, dude.
But
Bring
it'll
him
be
as
good
like
to
a
have.
side guest, like him and Brett.
Yo,
That way
he
he
might
doesn't-
go in
yeah.
with that. Yeah.
He'll feel a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
Your buddy Brett will come with you, Mar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let him do all the talking. That's what he'll do.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh man.
Mar's definitely got some stories.
Well, I can't wait to hear them, perhaps, on the next episode.
Maybe. I don't know, dude. Brett was just hanging around with everybody with Corona, so I'm not sure that next episode is a good time to have Brett.
Maybe
on.
in like 7 episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe 7 episodes.
So what, are you like fully quarantined? You don't hang out with people that...
No, I
Live life?
do, but
Oh, yeah,
like
we were fully we super quarantined. We didn't see shit for a long time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been kind of bad about it though recently.
Yeah,
Honestly.
just recently has been
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll trust you just because I'm bored.
right. Yeah.
I think everybody's just getting to that point. It's
In Florida, at least,
Stir
man, it's the
crazy,
Wild
yeah.
let us
West.
out.
Yeah,
You know?
this is probably gonna be a resurgence. That's just my guess.
When they put us on a second lockdown, I was like, I can't abide by this.
Yeah, I don't think anybody did really.
I don't think anybody did it for the first one, but I did.
A lot of people
I did
for the first one.
Yeah.
They put up a
Yeah.
bunch of signs, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna listen because I'm not a doctor.
Man, I turned down a whole bunch of money. You know how many parties I was throwing here, and
Yeah.
everybody
Oh,
was
dude.
like, "Oh, let me throw a party here. Let me throw a party here." And I'm like, "No, I'm not going to contribute to
Yeah,
this
yeah.
because I
Yeah,
know
that's the dangers. You
I
don't
know
wanna
it-
contribute.
if I were, it would be me. Of course, me would be the one on the news where it's like coronavirus party. You know, 17 people connected to this party end up catching it and giving it to all these other people. And
That's so funny.
or they'd be outside my gate protesting, mad at me, and it'd be all just my neighbors with pitchforks.
Right. Dude, you and your neighbors. Dude, we got to have your neighbors on the podcast.
Oh my goodness, that would be amazing.
Oh gosh.
It would be called Bandcamp Gate.
The,
Oh my gosh.
the
They-
I kind of would want to undercover do it, but then I don't want them to come in here.
Couldn't
They
be
can't-
here.
Yeah, they can. Like,
no, we would have to do that in like a safe environment.
Oh.
with,
we'll
like,
come to you.
Here's what
a
we
police
do.
officer there.
We pose as the news, and we'll be like, oh, we're getting a statement from you about the people that live next door.
And we're just a podcast.
His name is Mike
Yeah.
Lowe.
Lowy, Mike Lowy.
He said some mean things about you. Could respond.
I want to meet this girl now. You got me thinking about who I was mean to.
Don't they do like the same things that you do?
Oh
too?
yeah, that's the hypocritical part. Yeah, they have like
Hypocritizer.
chickens, and they have these little rallies at their house for like political parties. Whenever there's like, you know, a voting year or whatever, they have these like for-profit gatherings of like 300 people. They have music in their backyard. They have, you know, vote for Pete Dowling or whatever, and it's
Right.
a $40 buy-in to go there for a meal, and it's
Classic.
catered by, you know, a company, and it's like, whoa, you guys are legit doing
Yeah.
what I'm doing, but like I'm doing it on, like I'm more respectful. My music stays in my house and doesn't go on after night. Like you're not going to hear a DJ on my dock at 5 a.m.
Right,
you
yeah.
know? And I'm the guy that goes around with a.
Are you sure?
Well, yeah, but okay. So when that did happen, that if he DJ at 5 a.m., who was the first man? I ran out there ready to fight a dude, and I yanked that. Like I don't play. if you notice, if you come to my party, you'll see I'm just walking around with like a decibel
dB meter. He does. He does.
I block off
He makes
doors
a conscious effort.
to make sure.
That's good.
Yeah, because I mean, truthfully, I'm not trying to piss these people off. I
Right.
know, like, they have the right for peace in their home, and you
Yeah.
know what I mean. Like, I'm not trying to piss these people off.
Right.
I don't want to feud on a lake that I live at,
Yeah.
and I'm actually like a good guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You know, but whatever. They'll never get it. No matter how many times I see them in court, they'll still just be like, "Oh, there he is." And I
dude.
tried to like apologize to him and talk to him like a human.
Remember that
too,
time
and
we
they
were on the island?
they just go crazy off me.
We were
Like,
on the
"Ah."
island and being super friendly.
Mhm.
And the boat drives by, and Mike just was like, "Hey, what holiday was it?" Because we had said happy something,
I don't know.
whatever holiday it was.
Yeah.
We said
It's
happy
called
that.
Flag Day.
Yeah, happy Flag Day. And they were like, "Oh, that's that asshole," or something like that.
Yeah.
She said something real mean about Mike, and it was like all he was doing was saying hi.
Yeah, like
And she
telling her
just-
guest on the boat, like, "Ah, don't wave at him.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the guy we talk about. That's him."
dude.
Or just my friends, you know, because I bought a whole bunch of like kayaks, like
Uh-huh.
big orange kayaks and green canoes, and so if they see someone out on one of those, they would just assume they're like a guest from my Airbnb. Even
All right, Joe.
I haven't had an
Yeah,
Airbnb in a year.
up
They'll go
north.
and like
Up
start
north.
interviewing these people, like,
Uh-huh.
"Hey, who are you? That's that guy's house you came from. Are you a guest? Where are you from? Like, what are you doing here?"
Oh,
Just
jeez.
like these people like harass everyone that I know, my friends, my guests. It's like ridiculous.
Dude.
I'm just trying to live my life,
Right.
right?
We so before I moved, we used to rehearse at my house, right? And Joey's house. Joey lived there too, I guess. And we left our trailer like in front of our house for like, overnight, right? And we didn't really think about it. And this neighborhood is like, it's one of those neighborhoods where the HOA is like
Oh yeah.
really crazy and just
Oh,
they're
I
always
remember this.
we were like the youngest in that neighborhood by like a lot, and I
Yeah.
think that they like were just, not that we ever did anything, but they were just always worried that we were going to, so when any little thing did happen, they would like call the police.
Yeah.
And they would like, it was nonsense. So we left the trailer outside of my house after rehearsing, and at like 6 a.m. or maybe like a little bit later, I hear like furious pounding on our front door. And so I like get up and I like answer the door. I like don't even have a shirt on. And there was like a horde of parents in front of the door. And they were like, "The school bus can't get through. We've been knocking on the door for an hour.
Oh my
You got to move this trailer." And the only thing that can move the trailer is our van, which was here, not at my house. So I was like, "Oh, well, Greg can be here with the van in 30 minutes. But here's the thing. I felt horrible about it. I apologized to all the neighbors after that had kids. I will say, definitely could have gotten
They could have
through.
made it. They could have definitely made it.
definitely.
Oh yeah.
But
If
like,
that would have been an ambulance, they'd have made it.
yeah, and that was their whole thing. They were like, "Well, if you have like, if an ambulance needs to get through," and like, I get that.
I've heard that a bunch. That's why I said it too. The whole ambulance.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't really park it in there afterward. But after that, they were on to us, man. And like any little thing, dude, they were just like, people would knock on the door and be like, "You gonna pull those weeds in the cracks of your driveway?" Be like, "Dude."
Didn't you and Jesse make a video for
Yeah, so the HOA, I'm gonna maybe put it in the video. The HOA sent us a letter about our lawn was dying, okay? So they were like, "You have to fertilize your lawn or you're gonna get a violation," right? So we made this music video of like fertilizing the lawn to send in as like proof that we fertilized the lawn. And it's just this big, goofy, ridiculous thing.
Oh, I think I did see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was fun.
And power hungry HOAs are the absolute worst.
That's all it was, man. It's like, dude, we're just like, it's like you try to like work with them and like try to just have such good intentions. Like we're, like you said, like we weren't there to piss anybody off. We're just living there, And like, dude, I mean, whatever. You can't please everybody, and we don't live there anymore, so it is what it is.
The last HOA I was a part of,
Uh-huh.
I shut them down.
Really?
Legitimately, there were lawsuits against them after this. Like, not even from me.
Uh-huh.
They were using their bylaws against me about my Airbnb, telling me I couldn't have commercial, use in a residential home. And, I have all this court documents stating that, it's legal to do it. It's not considered commercial. And so I'm looking at their own bylaws to try to see what I violated. And I ended up finding out that they hadn't updated it in years. Like, they're supposed to do it every 10 years or whatever and get like a 50% majority on anything new they write. And so had a lawyer look into it, and they hadn't done it legally since like the 70s. And so it reverted back to the original documents, which had no HOA fees. It was like a $12 or like a $12 a year thing. And it was voluntary. And so now this HOA that used to get all this money, like $150 a month from each one of their residents, like 700 residents, went and there was an ombudsman that sent out a flyer to the whole community that was like, our bylaws are not what they say they are, and you can get all this money back too. So like all these homeowners started suing him and stuff.
Whoa.
Like, don't come after me if you don't got your stuff in check,
Dude, it's crazy.
HOAs.
Mike was practically a lawyer when he had to deal with all the
Oh my gosh.
With the goat stuff.
with the goats.
I got them emotionally
Goat
registered.
lawyer.
Yeah, I got them registered as emotional therapy goats. So they were protected. They were actually protected. Yeah. You look at the laws and you're like, well, this is what you're using against me. And then you see like a loophole. You're like, all right, I'll use that against you now. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Try it out, guys. Learn the law. Know what people can and can't do. You'll go far. Trust me.
I miss
Might
the
even
goats.
shut down an HOA.
That's glorious.
Yeah,
honestly.
it feels good. Trust me. Oh my gosh. 3 years I fought with these people, and then finally to watch them just go away and the whole community come together, and they were like, this is awesome. Like, we hated these people. These power hungry people made me mow my yard when it was like 3 inches tall.
Yeah, dude. There's something else sometimes, man.
Well, what else we got on the agenda?
Let's hear about you guys. Let's hear about Kash'd Out. What are your plans post-COVID?
Well,
How do you guys feel? Like, do you guys feel safe even to travel?
Well, I got like a 107 fever right now.
Huh?
Yeah. No, I feel fine. Yeah, I feel good, and I feel good about traveling.
those were jokes.
Yeah, yeah.
I know, right? You guys got to do temperature checks now whenever
What are
people
you
come in.
doing?
Yeah, you got to give them temperature checks whenever they come in now. Sanitize their hands, clean off all the mics. You're good.
Yeah. But yeah, dude. I mean, I'm ready to go as soon as they'll let us go, honestly.
Yeah, I'm ready to work again.
We're like bulls out the gate.
Dude, I think everybody's ready to roll, man.
Everyone's ready to rock and roll and go crazy.
Well, who's going to be the first to do it, though? Because it's going to take somebody having the balls to set up that first tour, or that first really big show. And how are they going to do it?
Bands are already doing like drive-in shows.
Yeah, Tribadelic's doing that drive-in show, right?
Mhm.
They did one. They
Yeah.
did it already, and I think Bumpin' Uglies just did one.
Yeah, I think some people are doing it. That's such a cool idea.
It's great because I didn't even know those were still a thing. I had no idea. Now I know that's like still around. I guess you can still do
I
that.
think they're bringing it back because of this. I don't
Yeah.
think there were a lot that were
Yeah.
alive after, all the movies came over and took them over.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, fuck yeah,
Well,
guys.
fuck yeah.
All right, boys. Well, dude, Mike,
Hey, thanks for having
thanks
me.
for being here, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
Thanks
yeah.
a lot, Mike.
Yeah, dude.
Can't wait to hear the rest of these.
Yeah.
Good.
Hell yeah.
This
Thanks
was a
for
good
sharing
time.
all your crazy stories, dude.
Thanks for letting me. It was fun.
This will forever go down as the first episode of the Secret Stash podcast.
Secret Stash Podcast.
I'm very stoked. Thank you for listening. It'll get better.
Follow your heart. Live the dream.
See you guys.